coming in the door and Daddy's home, and everyone runs to me and gives me a big hug and I love you, thank you, how was your day?
Hotep and welcome. Sound like them shows, the Creep Show, or Tales from the Hood, Tales from the
Crypt.
Yeah, welcome. No, we're here, Konsider Magazine. I am that I am. Some call me Haru.
Some call me Jan Parker. This is the Konsider Show.
Yes,
Konsider
sir.
Show.
That's right. You're right. The Konsider Show, our
episode 5.
Yeah.
Halloween-ish edition.
Oh yeah.
We kind of got our
we had some fun a little
candy
bit.
on a bit.
Yeah. And this is for all you athletic superstars and the vegans, and rawists, and all the meat eaters and everybody.
Mind me.
We help you out every once in a while. We have some fun.
You have to.
Grub on.
There's a little tip for you. Don't be too serious.
They call it cheat days. They call it cheat days, right?
Yes, we want.
Cheat days.
That's another episode.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We'll talk about that because, that means a lot to me. We'll talk about the ups and downs of cheat days or cheat meals or. That's more of the fitness, health side of things.
For sure. And we will definitely be journeying into those particular fields. But on this point, we're going to be talking about basically discussing family togetherness, as far as connecting those elements within the family realm. It's kind of like the elements within the properties within cannabis, right? It brings us all together, right?
Well,
it brings us together. And most of the time it does.
Yeah.
And most of the time it does. I mean, look how we can interact within the particular environment of what we're doing. And I kind of like the couch scene. We're sitting back, relaxed.
It's real.
Had a lot of, sugar in the blood, but, and as well as the fruit and vegetables as we have encountered,
Yes.
But basically, like I was saying, we're talking about the family togetherness. How are we, what are some of the things you have been experiencing, through your life as a, maturing or actually becoming a family man? What has that been like? I mean, literally, because I don't have no children, so I really don't know what that experience is really about. Don't take me wrong, I got nephew, nieces, but what is that? How are you?
Well, it's tough these days because there's a lot going on. You have, usually mommy and daddy working.
For sure.
And kids going, mommy and daddy working so they can pay for their kids to be raised by someone else.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
And who's the best that's going to be to raise your children? Not that person.
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong. If you can't make it work without both of you working, more power to you.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I am really lucky, or whatever. Not lucky. I've been strategic, purposely,
for sure.
In how I've, bought this home and all this kind of stuff to make it so I'm the only one working.
Yes.
And my lady is staying at home watching the kids.
No doubt.
I think that's important.
For sure.
If you can make it happen.
Yes.
There's sacrifices here.
Ooh, yeah.
Sacrifices.
Bring us on back.
I don't live in a super nice house in the greatest part of town or whatever.
Sure.
It's an old house. It's got some things. It's not in a great spot necessarily, but it's big enough for us. Gets the job done.
Yeah.
But it's technically it's a sacrifice. Could we afforded something more? Sure, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's this is how it should be, I think. And so there's that. So I've got that going where she's staying at home. So that's awesome if you can make it work. There's also, so I'm out there busting ass, gone a lot for work, and I want to be home and see my kids more.
I think that's key. I think that's the key.
And it's tough. And it's tough because you don't want to be a stranger to your kids.
For sure.
Well, and I have competition now when I get home.
Yeah.
It's the TV, and I sound like an old man. I mean, I'm not that old, but I mean, obviously we had TV too.
Yeah.
But we got the TV, we got the iPads, we got whatever just old school toys, distractions that I'm competing with when I get home.
Yes.
And so it's not just I'm coming in the door and Daddy's home, and everyone runs to me and gives me a big hug, and I love you, thank you, how was your day, and all this kind of stuff. No, I wander in and maybe I'm noticed. I don't know. But that's just,
it's a cold world.
There's those distractions. So togetherness is not the same as it used to be. Almost no one is eating dinner at a kitchen table.
We prove that every time.
Us being a family that doesn't usually.
And that's normal. That's pretty normal.
And that's sadly normal. But it's funny because I miss the days when I was younger where I was, and I've talked about bringing it back. But it's so hard because what happens, especially when you have a stressful job. I want to come home. And at the same time, I want to see my kids and my family and stuff like that. At the same time, I'm like, I want to just zone out and watch a TV show myself.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of us are, literally zoned in that particular mentality. I would also add to that is just how even when it's encouraged, like the gathering or we can't even really get everybody together. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The dynamic of it. How many, even with the whole point of at least you got a chance to know your parents or know the people you're around. That's what I'm not really seeing too much anymore. You got people say certain things even like about their parents, even as an adult. You know what I'm saying? You tend to kind of take some things in and whatnot. But you want to make it better for your children, right? That's really the purpose, right? But a lot of us, but
I know for me, I definitely want a better relationship with my kids than I have with my parents.
For sure. And that's your right. I think that's everybody's right.
Everyone wants to do better, I think, than their parents did for them.
Yes, you would think. It's still some social pools out there that's really don't get it, right? Because we still got a lot of issues where it's a lot of incompetent parents. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of incompetent parents, and another brother out there on the online or whatever, he was even talking about should it be a qualification to have or certain tests.
I was about to say, it's like now I'm an anarchist, so I'm not going to say. We need to have any kind of license for parenting.
And I agree.
It's also not exactly black and white because, should we have if we're going to have a license for driving a car, should we, have a license for being a parent? It seems like being a parent would be very important, and you should have a license if you're playing in that world. However, it's not exactly black and white because you choose to drive. Sometimes you don't necessarily choose to have children, it just happens. It's like, how are you supposed to prevent that necessarily?
For sure.
They taken away because you didn't get your parenting license first.
No doubt. Or a certificate, or just
whatever.
Yeah, just even a course or something you gotta. I'm not saying that's gotta be out there, but it's a lot of incompetency out there.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
People should want to learn all that they can.
You would think, yes.
To be a parent, and I'm not saying that I've read everything known to man, about it, or I'm sitting here reading books.
Yeah,
but
for sure. Becoming a father.
Well, but and I guess part of it is I'm not home as often, so I don't have to as much for certain things because I'm part of my job is to, be there for my family in a way, and that's doing the job, bringing the money in, supporting them that way.
And the structure, when you even think on that, the structure of parenting has literally got kicked out of the door. Because you think about it, back in the day, it was more of the village, Everybody was supportive, right? Togetherness. So you didn't really have to worry about, oh, well, you didn't know your auntie from here. You didn't know, no, grandma knew everybody in the, neighborhood or whatever the case may be. But we strayed away from that now.
Yeah,
everybody's moving out further.
Yeah, we're all in like these silos, basically, where, it's like I have to bust ass to support my family. It's no one else. I'm not leaning on anyone else, any family or friends. And I'm not saying that I need to be or want to be. It wasn't like, I need so and so to pay for my bills. It wasn't that. It was just natural of, you had your friends, family, whatever, your village, your community that just naturally supported each other, naturally took care of each other, naturally,
kind of like the cannabis.
It
takes care. It is literally, like I say, not trying to be funny or trying to put it in, but this is the connection. Like I'm saying, what it does is connecting those gaps we have within our particular family structure, slow down things so we can actually listen to what our fellow man, our fellow friend, our fellow brother and sister, what you actually talking about, what you actually doing. For example, like all the psychological mannerisms from who's the authority in this particular video we shooting. Who cares? All I'm saying is like what we need to do, we need to start connecting, hooking up with each other and really talking about some of the things, some of the values you have. Therefore, the values I have, we can actually get a same understanding of what's really going on. How you thinking about certain concepts, what you think a family should be about. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's not going on. I think that is some of the things we fail to talk about, especially on these cannabis issues, because there's a lot of issues out there that's really not being said. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm talking about on the higher tiers. I'm talking about, you might be reviewing a strain, be real, all respect to you. You know what I'm saying? But how are people using that? You see what I'm saying? How are we connecting it? You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point.
Yeah, not just, well, this strain gets you high this way.
Exactly.
Or this strain gets you stoned this way.
Exactly.
Or this makes you have the munchies. Or this makes you... Well, what's funny about this is we started this before we even started this. Because it's just the holiday events.
Yes, come on. It's, so-called those who celebrate it. I'm not really into that, but those who do celebrate it.
I got kids, so you know. I don't really care about Halloween.
Even though it's more deeper than what's going on now.
Yeah,
so I want to just put that out there.
That's another
podcast.
Couple of shows.
Yes. But at the same time, we just want to, we want to allow people to think, right? So that's what's cool. Like I said, the cannabis make you think. It makes you go deeper in consciousness.
If you allow it to.
Yeah, if you allow it to. If you're not caught up in the paranoia, or it's a mind state, right? It's a mind state.
Well,
it's literally.
It's like the people that there's people that are against it. They've never done it personally, but they're against it because of someone they know.
Indeed.
That is a quote unquote stoner, and it's, oh man, he's just lazy and lounging around and doing nothing all the time, and that's their only
outlet.
That's the only way they have any connection to this, and they think that's what it does. It just makes you just, it's not. This is going to enhance perhaps what you need to be doing, or what you want to be doing. If you want to be a lazy bastard and lay on the couch, don't get me wrong. I have those times.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know I need to be that lazy person sometimes to just chill out, enjoy myself, relax. Because I'm go during the day all day long. I don't get vacations, etc. If I'm sick, I'm working. If I'm real sick and I take it off, I don't get paid. That's how it goes. So I'm go. So sometimes that is what this is helping me with. Otherwise, I'm so used to that I do that when I get home.
Yeah, I want to put this out there. I think this is Blockhead where.
I like Blockhead.
Yeah, Blockhead is actually it's a strain out there. I forgot what dispensary we got it from, but the blockhead is based on, and I got all the ingredients and stuff. I didn't pull that out, but I want to definitely put that out because how it's making me feel. You know, it's a indica, but it's a sleeper.
Yes.
It's a go away kind of tuck.
It's amazing. You don't need much.
No, you
either.
don't. You don't.
Like,
you don't.
that's what I kind of like about it. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, I came home and had a little bit,
Yeah.
very little. And last night I slept like a friggin' baby.
That's the whole.
And I woke up at whatever time it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man,
This is good.
was it?
Lights was on. I mean, it was bright out. It was cool. That was a nice little. And I agree. Matter of fact, I was just
I gotta
telling
get more. I gotta get
my
more.
senior editor. Matter of fact, I was just telling him that he had asked me how many hours did I sleep last night. And I told him, man, about 8. Yeah, good. You know, because we went to bed pretty early. Actually, yesterday, I think we went to bed pretty early.
Well, late for me.
You did.
I usually go to bed at 9:30, like an old man, because I have to. But
we definitely hit the bed pretty late or early. Forgive me, but it's just some of those things I'm kind of, want to advocate out there. But this was blockhead strain. Just for those of you who's interested in that, and I'll put that in the contents down on below.
Show notes below the
yeah,
video.
show notes and whatnot, so you can see that. But it is a really cool strain for tonight. Really kind of relax us a little bit more, even though I do prefer sativas. Those of you who's actually want to donate. So we just having some fun. Just kind of want to talk about some of these subject matters that we're passionate about, and like I said, just kind of the family togetherness, doing more, taking more time to really connect with your friends and family. And let me give this out this is a shout out to all the brothers and sisters I know who know me. Won't you give me a call, give me a holler? I don't hear from you for months and months and months, and then I'm out actually engaging. That's another subject matter. But then at the same time, it's family togetherness. If you've been my friend, if we've been, people for years and years upon years, and I don't get a text from you, I don't get a, hey, how you doing? What is some of your opinion on that? I'm kind of surprised because I take the time.
I do it.
Yeah, I think. Oh, you do it.
I'm that guy.
Yes.
A lot of the times, and where I'm not texting people.
Yes.
We're not talking to people for a long time, and it's not that, like I don't like you anymore. I'm not thinking about you.
Yeah.
Hell,
Yeah.
I think about you guys more than you ever know.
For sure.
But it's just the course of the day is crazy. I need another 24 hours a day to get shit done.
Yes.
And so it's one of those things where I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
And then, and it sucks because it could be
It does.
a decade and you haven't talked to someone
Yeah,
or not much, and you're like, oh God.
Yeah. So where you at? And then it's funny how they're wondering where you at. And
Well,
it's
if
like,
well, that's another thing. It's like, let's not make it some sort of competition.
Yeah.
Like when you lived in Alaska, no, we weren't texting all the time,
No.
and a lot of times it was you that would say something,
Hey,
and I was
how you
always
doing?
glad to hear
Yeah,
from you,
yeah.
and I'm like, ah, damn it, I should have said something too. But it's like, oh, I'm glad he said something because time flies.
It does.
I mean, you were gone what, a year,
Yeah.
and it's just like, God, but it's how it just go the whole time.
And that's the like I say, bridging, talking about some subject matters that are really togetherness is really we're separating everything. That's why I think where we don't really interact with our friends and family as much, and that's what I'm like, wow, you don't even check in. I'm not saying you got to check in. I'm not saying you're my parent or anything, but it's kind of interesting. I'm talking to all the people who know who they are, who knows me, who's been on my shows, who've been this and that, but don't have no interaction. Give a brother a call. Give a brother a text. Something. You got my numbers. My number's public. Come on. You see what I'm saying?
We'll
My
put it right
emails are
here on the show.
Exactly.
Haru's
But I'm
personal number.
Not just to say that. It's just the whole point of. See, people don't know where you're at until all of a sudden they dead. This what I want to no, because this what happened to me. I had a friend who actually found out that he was dead, and I didn't know nothing about it because I didn't hear nothing from him. You see what I'm saying?
That's hard.
And that's kind of
that's not what you want to happen.
No, and we don't want that. But at the same time, it's like we claim we family, right? All of us, we claim we family. We have a lot of experience with a lot of people, over the years, and then we don't have no more experience with them. We forgot their children. All their children done grew up and this and that. You don't even know them no more and this and that. But then at the same time, it's like, you don't reach out. We're not reaching out. I'm not even saying every day. I'm just saying maybe once a week, maybe every 2 weeks, or just something. Hey, I'm doing
It's also,
cooking.
I think it's more, it's more than just, well, necessarily just saying something. I think it's just the strength of the relationship, anyways.
Yeah.
Like me and you have known each other a decade or so, and we could have not talked for the longest time, but it still feels like we're still family.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you came back after a year, and my son hasn't missed a beat with you.
No.
It's
that's cool.
and it's cool.
Yeah, that's
and
really cool.
But the relationship, the bond that we have, perhaps is stronger than others.
Yeah, for sure.
Why that is, I
think why it is just because we commute, we talk to each other, we discuss things.
Sometimes it's just a unexplained energy between people.
For sure.
That you don't miss a beat. Well, I think sometimes people have where they think they're best friends or whatever, but they're not really, or one of them really doesn't feel that, they're not going to say anything,
no doubt.
Whatever, or there's not a true, or your friends or family, but the underlying reason for that is something superficial, or one is using the other one and the other doesn't know it. It's a one-sided thing.
Yeah, and that could
secretly,
be,
it's like, I don't think, I think that's what you and I,
and
it's
the
like,
value,
we're not, like, I'm not using you for something, you're not using me for something, all that, we're just,
genuine. It's genuine. I mean, and that's some of the things I think a lot of people don't do. They don't take the time to really, in every particular episode could be just the conversation. We don't conversate no more. We don't interact as human beings should be interacting with. We're social creatures, right? We're social creatures, so that's an automatic. But at the same time, like I say, the social thing, and it's interesting how this have brought us together more too. Even though we kind of had our ideologies, or we're open-minded, because I know I'm very open-minded, but at the same time, if I'm seeing some ignorance or retardedness, I'm gonna say something, because that's me, right? I'm gonna say something about it, especially if it's harming some status quo or some value I value, and I'm like, okay, well, if I grew up that way and I see somebody's doing something that I grew up with or had a problem with, I'm gonna say something. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody should have that right, or at least think a little more open. Why do we think we gotta take for example, do certain things this way? Why do I gotta take for example, change a tire this certain way? This guy might have a different method we want to do it. You see what I'm saying? So
as long as you get to the
same result, yeah.
And
just
it
like
didn't
math.
take 20 years longer, or hurt someone, or we can all do things a different way and still get to the same final destination.
No doubt. Yes.
We can all load and unload the dishwasher different ways, and the dishes still get clean.
Exactly.
Just make sure someone doesn't hear that.
I've been watching your videos lately. So it's we're getting down to about a minute 30, and
no, it wasn't.
But the basic idea, what we have been, we're gonna make it a full circle. We're talking about togetherness. We're talking about family togetherness, and we're pinpointing some things to kind of get you thinking a little bit, because that's the purpose, to get you thinking. Consider this. You know what I'm saying? This perspective, but at the same time, bridging the gap with the cannabis, how it's interacting with the people, or how is it taking you away from your family, or whatever the case may be. We don't know, but we want to know. We would like to know.
That's the communication discussion community.
Exactly. So we're down to 45 minutes. Would you want to give
45 minutes. What?
45 minutes. Yeah, you know I'm.
We have 45 minutes left.
30 seconds.
We're gonna be here a while, guys. I'm gonna need a lot more of this. I'll tell you. Well, both even. A lot more of the.
We're down to 30 seconds, but this is Konsider Magazine and Konsider Show.
Konsider Group is what we're going to.
Yeah, that's
I
actually,
keep changing the names.
That's the show. But that's what we're gonna be. What we concluded with is Konsider Group.
Overall company name.
But until next time, much love, happiness.
Konsider.